Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. We'll chant Om once together. Synchronize the chanting of Om with your exhalation. Breathe in. Sahana vavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Gently open your eyes. We'll chant from verses 1 to 5 of chapter 3. Arjuna Uvacha.
Arjuna Uvacha.
Jayasi chet karmanaste.
Jayasi chet karmanaste.
Mata buddhir janardana.
Mata buddhir janardana.
Tat kim karmani ghore mam.
Tat kim karmani ghore mam.
Niyojayasi keshava.
Niyojayasi keshava.
Vyamishreneva vakyena.
Vyamishreneva vakyena.
Buddhim mohayasiva me.
Buddhim mohayasiva me.
Tadekam vada nishchitya.
Tadekam vada nishchitya.
Yena shreyohamapnuyam.
Yena shreyohamapnuyam.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha.
Lokesmin dvividha nishtha.
Lokesmin dvividha nishtha.
Pura prokta maya nagha.
Pura prokta maya nagha.
Jnana yogena sankhyanam.
Jnana yogena sankhyanam.
Karma yogena yoginam.
Karma yogena yoginam.
Na karmanam anarambhat.
Na karmanam anarambhat.
Naishkarmyam purushoshnute.
नैष्कर्म्यं पुरुषोऽश्नुते
न च संन्यसनादेव
न च संन्यसनादेव
सिद्धिं समधिगच्छति
सिद्धिं समधिगच्छति
न हि कश्चित् क्षणमपि
न हि कश्चित् क्षणमपि
जातु तिष्ठत्यकर्मकृत्
जातु तिष्ठत्यकर्मकृत्
कार्यते ह्यवशः कर्म
कार्यते ह्यवशः कर्म
सर्वः प्रकृतिजैर्गुणैः
सर्वः प्रकृतिजैर्गुणैः
Hari Om, and a very good day to all of you. So in the last session, we were seeing the combination of these three words in a yogic way. What are the three words? Avashaha. Avashaha, which means helplessness on one hand, and which also means total power and free will on the other hand. And then we saw a little bit about gunas. Gunas means qualities. So qualities define a person. Qualities define an object. And then the third word, which is very important because it is a third word which gives you complete self-mastery and control. That is prakritihi, nature. So the gunas or qualities are coming from prakritihi. So when you do sadhana and gain control over prakriti, nature, then you gain complete control over your life, because your ability to influence the gunas, your ability to change the gunas increases. See, first of all, when it comes to this ancient wisdom, spirituality, you need to understand the purpose of spirituality. Most people who are doing certain rituals or who may read certain scriptural texts or anything simple, or they may get into seva, service. Now whatever practices which they do it without a purpose, without the ultimate purpose, without understanding the true purpose of that action. In one of the later verses, he will be covering this also. He will say, why is it that people come to God or spirituality? Different motives are there. The bhavs are so different. Some people approach God for wealth. Actually, they are not interested in knowing God or experiencing God per se. Their interest is in wealth. Wealth means we are talking of any kind of wealth, It's not restricted only to money. Money, sense objects, various gadgets which you buy, everything put together is your wealth. Now, we are not talking of whether it is right or wrong. There is nothing wrong about it. But there is a limitation. That's what I want you to understand. So some people, when they approach God, when they approach spirituality, they do it because they want more wealth. And let's say they have a particular quantity in mind. The moment they get that, then they will stop that practice. That kind of sadhana is not really going to give you the highest benefit. You don't grow spiritually. It is more for the external, the fulfillment of that external desire which that person has, for which he or she may be doing that particular sadhana. I'm putting sadhana in quotes here, because true sadhana is aimed towards self-realization, towards enlightenment. So you may approach God, you may approach spirituality for wealth. Or he says, some people approach spirituality just for a mental solace. They are faced with a lot of stress and they just want to get some solace, a relative peace of mind. Actually, many people think that we should go to spirituality just for mental solace. It's very interesting. Now, there also, the benefits which they get will be very limited. They will get some amount of peace and then they'll feel happy with that. There is no sadhana. What do I mean by there is no sadhana? There is no self-transformation. There is no effort to transform one's personality. Some others approach spirituality because they may be facing some issue or some problem in life. The problem could be related to health or finance or career, some problem they are facing. So then they come to spirituality. Now there also, their interest is in resolving that issue only. They are not truly seeking God. They are not seeking enlightenment. So the benefits which they will get again will be very limited. In most cases where people come to spirituality for merely solving issues and stopping with that, I'm not saying you should not use spirituality to solve your issues. When you do it in a sadhana way, it is highly beneficial, all these things. If you do your sadhana properly and if you are attracting wealth, if you are getting mental solace, if you are solving issues, all that is wonderful. But without the higher purpose, if you are merely doing it just for that sake, that is called sakama sadhana. Sakama sadhana means wanting something limited and taking up some practice in order to get that. And that's all. That is the end all of your pursuit. That is called sakama sadhana. In your pursuit towards infinite happiness, incidentally, all your relative desires also will get fulfilled. That is perfectly fine. You will enjoy everything in a very detached way and you will keep moving up. So whenever you face an issue, then only you will be reminded of God. That is a typical the tendency of many people. You find out. See, so many people are going to the places of worship. They are doing so many rituals. They are studying scripture. So many things they are doing. So you need to find out what is it that they are really seeking. So a person does not have a job. So I want a job. What should I do? Okay, let me go to a guru. And many gurus cater to that. See, a true master will not cater to these limited benefits unless he sees a potential in that person. Yes, you first come into spirituality through this, but then he will teach that person what true sadhana is. Otherwise, this will become like a show, like a toy shop where we are selling toys. That is no use. So when they are performing that so-called spiritual activity, it will look as if they are very highly spiritual. But he says, no, not necessarily. We'll have to probe and see what the bhavana is. What is it that a person is seeking? When a student approaches a guru, the guru will only see, a true guru will see whether the student basically has this desire to purify oneself, to this desire for enlightenment. You may not call it enlightenment, but what is it that person seeking? That base desire, base seeking should be there. Then he will be prepared to go to any extent, teach the sadhana to the student, and incidentally, all the relative desires, worldly desires also will get fulfilled for the student. He'll help him to become a sadhak and keep on moving in this path towards perfection, in this path of self-purification, culminating in self-realization. Now, what is interesting is, there are some people who may approach God or spirituality just to gain knowledge. They may have some curiosity, some questions. What is the difference between destiny and self-effort? Now, just to get an answer to that, they may read some scriptures or they may approach a guru. He calls them as jignasus. Jignasu means one who is merely having curiosity, who's having a lot of questions, but those questions are not so deep. See, when Buddha asked this question, what is beyond death? It is not a normal question. If you just give him some answer and say, this is what death is, that he'll not be, you can't satisfy the material of Buddha, that caliber of Buddha, I'm saying. When Nachiketas, at the age of 5, when he went and met Lord Yama and asked him for Brahma Vidya, actually Lord Yama tempted him with everything. He tempted him with wealth, he tempted him with all the pleasures. He said, it's better you don't go for this, you're so young. Why do you want to get into spirituality? All this was a test. At one point he even told him, I'll give you a power by which you can fulfill all the desires which you have. How many of you will say no to that and still want the highest? It's a big question mark, So he, just by giving him some answers here and there, you can't satisfy the caliber of Nachiketas. All the great masters, they had that kind of a deep, deep quest. So a jignasu is one who merely has questions. And if you give him an intellectual answer, he'll be happy. You know, a very interesting thing happened several years back. A scientist met me. He had a double PhD. And what he mentioned was, sir, what you are teaching, the approach, the yogic approach, is probably, you can say that it is 100 times more than a PhD. Even 100, I'm just giving a number, he said, but we can't really quantify it. So I asked him, why are you saying that, sir? Because he is a very knowledgeable person. He had done his research. He had got PhDs in 2 subjects and also postdoc and so many. He was very well qualified. He was, very well respected also in his community among scientists. So I asked him, so why are you saying that? He said, sir, in PhD we are interested in doing research, but all the research is restricted to the external world and merely finding answers to questions externally. It's very interesting. Whereas the yogic approach is not about merely finding intellectual answers to questions and then finding certain practical proofs for that. It is not that. That was his understanding. See, it's very interesting. When a master gives the yogic approach, each one understands or receives this wisdom in his or her own way. The scientist will receive this wisdom according to what his bent of mind is. A businessman would receive this wisdom in his way. That's what makes this yogic approach so unique. Why do we say this is universal? This is applicable to everyone at all periods of times, because it is infinite wisdom. So he understood it in a scientific way and he was explaining to me in the same language. So he said, in the yogic approach, first of all, the question which is asked itself is so deep. The highest purpose. What is the purpose of this very creation? See, in all other researches, after the creation happens, we are asking so many questions with respect to creation. And we are finding answers to that. But what I understand is that in the yogic approach, the question, that is, the yogic approach is really meant for those people who ask this question as to what is the purpose of the very creation, who is beyond this creation. And that answer cannot be got intellectually. A series of sadhanas, spiritual practices, you need to go through, and you need to transform yourself and experientially gain the wisdom. Whereas in the other researches, it is not the experiential wisdom, it is an external wisdom. So beautifully he had differentiated these two and given. So that is the difference. Even in spirituality, when you don't adopt the yogic approach, you may become a jignasu, you may have so many questions, and you will only be interested in an intellectual conversation. A true guru is not meant to merely answer your questions intellectually. A true guru is meant to uplift your consciousness and make you experientially gain the wisdom of the infinite. And the moment we use the word infinite, it is beyond the intellect. Infinite can never be understood by the intellect. So these are the various kinds of seekers. They are not true seekers. Whenever you seek something limited and you stop with that, then you are not a true seeker. That is why in the Upanishads it is said, seek God, you shall find God. So that seeking should come from the depth. So what is the purpose of all this? Every Sunday we are having this, then I'm asking you to do Yoga Sankirtan. You will get a lot of benefits, no doubt. But the real purpose is to completely get attuned to the higher Shakti and move from tamas to rajas, from rajas to sattva, and then reach that state of trans sattva, gunatita, beyond all the gunas. From a helpless victim of gunas, you become a very strong, free-willed person who can play about with the gunas. A total transformation of one's personality. See, when we use the word change, this question can come to your mind. If I change my qualities, then what will happen to my individuality? Then won't I become a different person? That is where you need to think more deeply. See, a tamasic intellect will ask such questions, will try to convince your mind by giving such logic. There the question comes, who are you? You are not the gunas. As we go along, he'll be saying that. Today, you may be thinking you're the gunas. That is the starting point. But from gunas, he's going to take you to Prakriti. From Prakriti, he's going to take you to the Shakti, divinity. It's a gradual process of self-transformation. So when the gunas change, you actually don't change the soul, because you are the soul, not these qualities. That is the further higher wisdom, you know. So whenever you find a resistance to change within yourself, remember, it is the lower nature within you which is trying to convince you to devolve, to stagnate and devolve. It is not allowing you to progress towards the higher. So what did we see? All are indeed made to act avashaha by the gunas which are born of Prakriti. So we saw the three applications. So the first one is the external application. When you take the environmental gunas, gunas means manifestations. So various incidents are manifesting in your life. You are put in various situations, you know. Now, where do these gunas come from? The Prakriti, nature. So when your consciousness is pegged there, when it is at the lowest state, when you are highly tamasic, then the external environment is going to affect you totally. Avashaha means helplessness. A tamasic person is one who cannot achieve anything in life. Whenever you have tamas in a particular area, it will prevent you from progressing in that area. If you have tamas with respect to your work, then you will not be able to progress in your career. If you have tamas with respect to your relationship, let's say your family, your spouse, your children, then you will not be able to have an enriching relationship. There will be a lot of friction. Unless your spouse is also tamasic. See, if you are tamasic and your family members are also tamasic, then all of you will be sleeping. No problem. But even there, when we say no problem, that is only temporary, because the nature will force you to move to the next level. The knocks and shocks will be given. So if you are very tamasic, let us say in the area of health, you are not taking care of your body, you are not doing your exercises, you are not eating the right kind of food and all that, then you will face issues there. Wherever there is tamas, number one, you will face a lot of issues in the long run, and number two, you will not be willing to change. See, the avashaha, helplessness will be there, the situation will affect you tremendously, but how will the tamas in you react? It will say, oh, everything is fine with me, why should I change? Sometimes the tamas in you may make you talk the highest philosophy. Like I knew one person, who used to drink alcohol, and the reason which he used to give was, oh, I am at such a high level of objectivity, I am just exhausting whatever vasanas, whatever desires I am having, so that I can achieve enlightenment. That philosophy is totally misinterpretation of the Bhagavad Gita. So you should not fall a trap to that. If you fall a trap, then avashaha, it will be a life of victimization, helplessness, non-achievement, non-progress, a life where your entire growth will be stifled. So it will be worthwhile to find out where all you are tamasic. See, all the aspects of tamas, rajas and sattva have not been given to you. As we go along using the yogic approach, many dimensions of these gunas will be given to you. But with whatever understanding you have of tamas, you can start applying it in your life. This is what I need to overcome. Wherever you are lazy, understand it is tamas. If you are very stubborn, then that is tamas at the level of ego. If you say, I don't want to change, it is tamas. A tamasic person does not want to put any effort, but he will keep on blaming others. He will want the results, but he will not want to pay the price for it. That is tamas. So that is the first level. But as you do your sadhana, now what will happen is the prakriti, the other dimension of prakriti is the supreme being, the higher Shakti. So the higher Shakti, the higher energy will start manifesting within you. You will start getting attuned to the higher Shakti with the help of the Guru. When you sincerely practice the sadhanas which the Guru gives, your consciousness will start expanding. And when you start getting attuned to the higher Shakti, then so beautifully the environment will no longer affect you. The external environment. That is the first step. But the internal environment can affect you. You may get agitated within. You may go through certain amount of stress. That is the rajas. See, remember, Rajas is a higher state than Tamas. That is why if a Rajasic person and Tamasic person get together, there will be a lot of conflict. The Tamasic person will want the Rajasic person to become Tamasic, and the Rajasic person will want the Tamasic person to become Rajasic. In this, of course, it is a Rajasic person who is at a higher level. So that person only will get support from the nature when there is a conflict. But it will cause a lot of conflict. So Rajas means getting stressed, getting worked up, getting agitated, being restless, acting in a restless way. And when it comes to the internal environment, seeing your own gunas also, you can get very agitated. Seeing your own negativities, you can get agitated. Many people, many sadhaks have reported this. When they start doing the Yoga Sankirtan sadhana, slowly they say, my negativity start increasing. This is a common complaint which many sadhaks have put forth. Your negativities don't increase. Earlier, since you were in a state of tamas, ignorance, you were totally unaware of those negativities. So whatever those negative qualities are there, now your awareness has increased. Since your awareness has increased, you're seeing those negativities. So it looks as if your negative thoughts, your negative emotions have increased. Sir, earlier I never had this negative thought. Now after sadhana, when I did sadhana for 1 month, I started developing this negative thought. It's not that you're developing the negative thought. It's a positive sign. Your awareness about that negative thought has increased. You're moving from the state of tamas to rajas. So there the avashaha, the word avashaha, how will it be applicable to you? Sometimes you will feel helpless, sometimes you will feel very powerful. A Rajasic person keeps oscillating. So when a guru deals with a tamasic person, he will deal in a particular way. There is not, the way means what? There is no other way except force. The guru may be very harsh to a student when he finds there is a tamasic block. Whereas when there is a rajasic block, a guru will not be harsh because already the person is stressed. So the guru will be very gentle, will give the mental solace which is required, and slowly teach the person to calm his or her own mind while acting. So the word avashaha will start changing its colors from helplessness to becoming more powerful. A Rajasic person can be an achiever, can fulfill goals, but in the process he or she will also become stressed. This is all a part and parcel of one's growth only. See, never think that till yesterday you are one person, now today you do sadhana, within one day or within a few days now, but immediate complete transformation will happen. There are no quick fixes in the spiritual path. It is a gradual process of self-transformation. Sometimes in one area you may be Rajasic, in another area you may be Tamasic. But when you keep on doing your sadhana, then you will get completely attuned to the higher Shakti, the higher energy. That is when the word avasham will start shifting towards this dimension of being in total control. The gunas, that is the manifestations externally, and the gunas, the manifestations internally, the external environment and the internal environment will no longer affect you. And you will develop the ability to change the manifestations at will. It means you have become sattvic. Sattva is a very powerful state of calmness, of unconditional love, of compassion, of positivity. Tamas is a powerless state of total negativity and not doing anything about it. Rajas is in between total negativity and positivity. You are in the process of developing, you are in the process of growth. So from tamas to rajas and from rajas to sattva, that should be your goal. That is the very purpose of sadhana. And in the beginning of today's session, I was saying, people approach spirituality for various reasons. But it is only a sadhak who approaches spirituality for the right reason, and that is for self-transformation. And in the process of self-transformation, you will get wealth, you will become more healthy, your relationships will improve, whatever problems you have, blocks you have, everything will get pulverized. You will gain more knowledge, more wisdom. All those things also will happen. But your focus will be only on self-transformation. You will not rest content with merely getting some limited benefits. And as you become more and more sattvic, now from Shakti, that is, see, the Prakriti is there, Shakti is there. From Shakti, you move to the state of Shiva. See, what is the difference between Shiva and Shakti? I'll explain to you. You must have come across Ardhanarishwara, where half Shiva and half Shakti. It's a very, very powerful state which every sadhak experiences. Shiva means unmanifested Shakti, unmanifested energy. Shakti means manifested Shiva, manifested energy. Unmanifest energy is Shiva, state of Shunya. Manifested energy is Shakti. Both are two sides of the same coin. You can't say this is superior, this is inferior, nothing like that. Both are two sides of the same coin. And that is why Ardhanarishwara has half Shakti and half Shiva. So powerfully given by the great masters. Actually, if I get into that, those are very, very deep secrets. When we do the higher empowerments at an advanced stage, those sadhanas also will be given to you. There are the energy centers, the nadis and all have to be purified. And in a particular energy center, the third eye center, when that is purified and when the higher empowerment is received from the Guru, that is a time where you'll master the Ardhanarishwara, the balancing of the Shakti and Shiva, the manifested energy and the unmanifest energy within you. It's a very powerful sadhana that can completely create a complete transformation and get you to experience the state of a Sthita Prajna. So it's a gradual process of self-transformation. And at every level, the Guru will keep on giving you, revealing the various secrets. See, in the last empowerment we had infinite happiness. The causal body, the fifth sheath, the bliss sheath was opened up. You all started experiencing that. It is not only during the empowerment. After that, the wisdom will slowly settle down. See, some people say, oh, I am not able to practice whatever was given in empowerment. You don't need to worry on that account. The empowerment courses are meant to directly transfer the energy and give you a boost, to uplift you. Thereafter, do your sadhana in a relaxed and gradual way. Whatever you can practice, you do that. No issues. The sincerity is what that matters. One person has asked the question, oh, the previous empowerment I have not yet fully mastered, then am I ready for the higher empowerment? Again, it is a tamasic intellect which is prompting to ask all these questions. There is nothing like mastering one empowerment level fully and then going to the next level. When you attain the next level, actually it will become easy to practice the previous level of empowerment. Haven't you all experienced that? Every Yoga Sankirtan empowerment, one empowerment you attend, whatever was mentioned in the previous level becomes more easy for you. When you attend the Prana Tattva, then Kaya Tattva sadhana becomes more easy. When you attend the infinite happiness, the Prana Tattva sadhana becomes even more easy for you to practice. See, that is how we progress. So, this is the path of self-transformation. So, as a sadhak, now how do you gain more power in your sadhana? By fixing this goal of self-transformation. From this point onwards, we'll be getting into a lot of tips which he'll be providing. Each tip will create so much of transformation within you. But for that, you should first fix your focus. That is why I'm mentioning it here. So as you get attuned to the higher Shakti, I told you, the Shakti and Shiva, you can call it Shakti, Shiva, Narayana, Lakshmi, you can call it the mother and father of the universe, the male and female energy, any terminology you use, it does not matter. It is all referring to that principle only of manifested energy and unmanifest energy. So when you get attuned to that, the gunas will become very divine, 100% divine. Whatever qualities you have within will become godly, and whatever you experience in the world will also become divine. The world being the same, your power, divine powers will increase, and so you will experience divinity everywhere. What an exalted state it is, which a yogi experiences. You put a yogi anywhere, he will experience divinity and divinity alone, externally and within him. When you are not developed, you are in any situation, you will only experience negativity outside, you will experience negativity inside. Sometimes, when couples fight with each other, then in the counseling session, they are told, take a holiday, take a break, and go to some nice resort. So what happens is that they take a break and they go to the resort. And then there also they start fighting. So instead of fighting at home, now they start fighting in the resort. Because the internal change has not happened. When you are not developed, anywhere you go, the same fights will continue, the same negativities will continue. So this is the power of the ancient wisdom. This is the power of sadhana. Every Sunday, the yogic approach is being given to you. You should understand first the power of that. When you are doing this diligently, what complaints can you have? Everything is bound to get resolved. All the blocks are bound to get pulverized. Okay, so all are indeed made to act helplessly by the qualities born of nature. That is at the lower level. But for a sadhak, or he or she is indeed made to act very powerfully. They are even made to act will not work. He will make the gunas to act to his advantage. He or she. It's got nothing to do with male or female here, because he has got attuned to the higher dimension of Prakriti, that is the Shakti. Okay, so with this powerful message, now we will move to verse number 6. Karmendriyani sanyamya
कर्मेन्द्रियाणि संयम्य
ya aste manasa smaran
य आस्ते मनसा स्मरन्
indriyartan vimodhatma
इन्द्रियार्थान् विमूढात्मा
mithyachara sa uchyate.
मिथ्याचारः स उच्यते
Karmendriyani sanyamya. Yaha. See, as I told you, everywhere yaha in the first line and saha in the last line. Whoever it may be, that person. As I told you, there is no no partiality or prerogative, It's not that one person is superior or one person is inferior. One person alone can become spiritual, another person cannot. All funny concepts people have. Some people think one caste is superior and one caste is inferior. What a foolish concept all these things are. That is not the vision of our yogis. No one is inferior or superior. If you do all this, you will get these benefits. If you don't do, you will have to suffer. That's all they have said. So, karmendriyani sanyamya yaha. One who restrains, karmendriyani sanyamya, who restrains the organs of action. Aste. Aste means sits. Very beautiful word he uses. When we come there, we'll see first the translation. So, one who sits restraining the organs of action. Sanyamya means restraining. Karmendriyani means organs of action. So, one who sits restraining the organs of action, but manasa smaran. Smaran means thinking. One who sits restraining the organs of action, but mentally thinks. Indriyarthan. Indriyarthan means mentally thinks about the objects of senses. Indriyaha means senses. So, Indriyarthan, arthan means the objects of senses. So, he is talking about a person who sits quietly. Externally, he looks very calm and peaceful. But internally, what is happening? The mind is running towards the sense objects. So, externally, he has restrained himself. But internally, the mind is very active. So beautifully explained, Vimodhatma. Vimodhatma means, we have translated it in a very polite way, deluded person. Vimodaha. But actually it means one who is a supreme fool, supreme idiot. that is, see, unless we put it like that, the punch is not there, Vimodhatma. It's a very powerful word he uses. Such a person is a totally deluded person. Vimudhatma means. Vimudhatma mithyacharasa uchyate. Mithyachara, another very powerful word. He says that deluded person is a mithyachara. Mithyachara means is a hypocrite. Sa uchyate means he is called. So one who is sitting, one who sits restraining the organs of actions, but mentally thinks about the objects of senses, that deluded person, Vimudhatma, is called a hypocrite, mithyachara. Very, very powerful verse. This verse is not to condemn anyone. See, when they use the word, these kinds of words like Vimudhatma, mithyachara, these are all powerful words, harsh words which he uses. Why is he using such harsh words? It is to break the thick layer of ignorance and tamas which we are in. See, when it comes to overcoming ignorance and tamas, a soft approach will not work. Before we get into the verse, just an overview, and when we apply the yogic approach, you can derive the sadhana message first. He is using a very harsh approach. See, when he is describing a person who is sitting, restraining the organs of action, which means he is not acting in the world, but mentally he is lingering about the various objects of senses, it is a tamasic life. Isn't it? He is talking about tamas. That's why he uses the word Vimudhatma, deluded person. Hypocrite, he says. Each one we'll see. Very, very powerful, and it gives you so much of, it gives you so many messages, sadhana messages. But prima facie, the approach which he is taking is that of a powerful one. In the previous verse, he said, no one can remain inactive even for a moment. That itself was very powerful. But now, he has increased the power of his statements more, and he is almost taking a hammer and hitting you. Because when he says mithyachara, hypocrite, everyone is a hypocrite. You are someone inside and someone outside. What you are projecting yourself to be outside is not what you are inside. You can fool everyone else, but you can't fool yourself. Of course, you can't fool your guru also. You are constantly wearing masks when you are interacting with the world. You are constantly impressing others with what you don't have. You are trying to cover up for all your deficiencies without bringing the real transformation from within. So this particular verse will hit everyone, every sadhak, at whatever level you are in. Even if you are at 99% level, that 1% hypocrisy will be there. So it will hit you to that extent. So why is it that he is using such a powerful approach? That is a harsh method. Ignorance or tamas can be handled in a harsh way only. So the sadhana tip which you get is, I told you last week I had given you a small homework. Find out the areas of your tamas, rajas. It's always good to do that self-analysis every now and then. Now, what do you do about the tamas in you? Supposing you locate some area of tamas. So how do you handle that tamas? Just by seeing the approach which he is taking, we understand, we get the sadhana message. Tamas can be converted into rajas only if you use force. See, tamas is like a hard stone. Now, supposing you want to break the stone, how will you break it? You go and gently tap it. You go and stroke the stone and say, please break. No reaction. So a tamasic person will be like that only. You talk in a gentle way and say, now do this, do that. He will do like this. Because he will be mimicking a sattvic person. No action. You give some responsibility to a person, to a tamasic person. He will not act immediately. The house will be on fire and he'll just be sitting there without acting. These are all qualities of tamas. Everyone will have, some pockets of tamas. So how do you handle that? How do you convert tamas to rajas? It is only by taking this harsh approach. You have to force yourself in the areas of tamas. If you take a soft approach, that will never work. Temporarily, Arjuna had gotten into a state of tamas, inactivity. That is why you find Krishna uses such harsh words right from beginning. In the very first verse where Krishna spoke in this chapter, where he speaks first, that is I think 11th or 12th verse, he says, he starts off with the highest philosophy. Before that, also when he spoke in the beginning of this chapter, what does Krishna speak? He says, how on earth have you fallen to this state, Arjuna? Kutastva kashmalamidam vishame samupastitam. Very, very powerful was Klaibyam masmagama partha. You are acting like a coward. So every now and then Krishna uses such harsh language. Why? With total compassion, because he has infinite love for Arjuna and he wants to break the tamasic stone-like blocks within Arjuna. Whenever a guru fires a student, fires means what? Is angry with the student. I am putting the anger in quote because a true guru will never get angry. Why should he get angry? He has passed all that stage now. But when he finds a tamasic block in a student, he may use harsh methods, sometimes harsh words. Sometimes he may push the student in a harsh way and expose the student to certain challenges. So that, it's like pushing a person inside the swimming pool so that the person learns to swim and come back. So sometimes the guru may do that. So in the yogic path, what they always say is that when a guru gets angry at the student, again I'm putting angry in quotes, when the guru is harsh to a student, the student considers that as a prasad. Prasad means gift, great blessing. Why? Because that is going to break some karma, that is going to break some tamasic block. So here we find the Jagat Guru, Lord Krishna, who was an avatar, a complete manifestation of the infinite. Now he is literally taking a hammer and hitting all of us with that hammer. The tamas in you will resist this. The ego will not like it, but the sattva in you will love it. You will take it as a prasad. This is coming right from Lord Krishna himself, the Jagat Guru. We should take it as a prasad. Vimoodatma. Vimoodatma means don't think he's talking about somebody else. He's talking about you only. Then only you can directly get this. So whenever you are dealing with any tamasic quality within you, simply force yourself. Don't sit and keep convincing, okay, let me first understand and then I will practice. All that is, some people ask this question, sir, how do I overcome laziness? That question itself is asked in a lazy way only. A person who wants to overcome laziness should just use force, get up and start acting. If you sit and ask, how to now overcome laziness? That question is coming from tamas. Then some answer will be given. 10 steps to overcome laziness. Suddenly, so you read a book or you see a video. Somebody has talked about how to overcome laziness. 10 steps. So you will be admiring. 10 steps are there. You will keep analyzing. But you will be wherever you are only. So whenever you find a tamasic habit within you, don't use any logic. Don't wait to gain any wisdom and all that. This is the wisdom. You located the tamas. Simply force yourself to get up and start acting. That is called infusing rajas, injecting rajas. The first step in sadhana is location of tamas and then injecting rajas wherever tamas is there. Injecting activity. If you don't do it and if you surrender to a guru, then the guru will do it for you. It may look as if he is harsh, but he is not harsh. It is only with supreme compassion and supreme love that all these great masters are giving out this wisdom, sometimes in a harsh way, sometimes in a soft way. Whatever will suit us, they are continuously giving. They are showering us with so much of wisdom. We should recognize that and be so grateful. So a beautiful, powerful sadhana tip we can get just by seeing this verse from outside, So harsh he is. So that is how you need to treat the tamas within you. When you locate rajas, how do you need to treat? That we'll see later. He'll be giving that. Towards the end, the impediments. Having covered tamas to a good extent, then he will be saying the rajo guna. See, Arjuna asks, in this chapter, later on we'll be seeing this. Sometimes I know that this is wrong, something is wrong, yet I commit that wrong activity, I commit that sin. So what makes me do something which I know is wrong? Krishna gives a famous answer. Kamayesha krodayesha rajo guna samudbhava. It is because of kama, uncontrolled desire, because of krodha, anger, all coming out from rajas, rajo guna samudbhava. And then how to deal with that, that also he'll be covering. So this karma yoga chapter is not a chapter which you can pass by. Okay, do your duties and go. It's not so simple. This is going to create a complete revolution within you. The yogic approach is for people who want to genuinely progress in life and in the external life and in the inner life of spirituality. Not for casual people. Okay, so you take it as a homework today. Locate some area of tamas. It may be something very small, like you wanted to do something. It may be cleaning your desk or cleaning your desktop in your PC, whatever it is. Something you wanted to do and you kept on postponing. Now, what should you do about it? Let me put a plan to act. Nothing, no plan, nothing. Simply force yourself and act there. That is the only way which will work. And then what to do, all that we'll be seeing. But first, start putting an effort to overcome your tamas within you. Locate areas, supposing in the area of relationships, let us say towards your spouse, you are not doing many things because of tamas. Then just start doing those. It is you who is going to get benefited. You will truly get a taste of what the higher happiness is. But if you are stagnating and devolving with tamas, how will you be able to progress? So take it up as today's homework. Locate the tamas. See, do this very objectively. Now don't see, the moment you locate tamas, again the tamas itself will try to create a guilt within. Oh, I have all these qualities, and you may start wallowing in self-pity. That is also a tamasic quality. A person who simply keeps wallowing in self-pity is highly tamasic. Without putting any effort, simply sitting and crying and trying to get others' attention by through crying and self-pitying, all these things are tamasic quality. That is, some way or other, the tamasic mind within you finds some way or other to move away from sadhana or effort. So recognize a few areas at least and apply this principle. Start injecting rajas in that area. Okay, you take it up as sadhana and do it not merely today. See, all these practices are for the whole life. At every level this is applicable. So you make a start today. Whenever you are getting this wisdom in a powerful way, you will be loaded with that energy, the Guru Shakti, So whatever practice you try, that will immediately come true. That is why I am saying today. If the Guru himself says practice tomorrow or practice next week, then it means first the Guru has to change. He himself is tamasic, simply postponing. Sadhana means today, right now. So you do that homework. We'll stop with that today. We'll get into this verse next week further. Amazing principles are there and given out so powerfully. It may hit you terribly. The ego will get hit. That is why the humility, gratitude, devotion to the Guru, devotion to God, all these qualities will help. Otherwise the ego will say, no, the tamas and the ego will say, simply we'll stop watching these lectures. Then the problem is solved. The problem will not be solved. You'll only be pushing things under the carpet. Remember that. Okay. So now, before the meditation, Nididhyasana meditation, I will take up a question. This question has been asked by Shiva Krishnan from USA. So, dearest Yogishri, Hari Om, I have a question on positive desires and the path to enlightenment. I have certain positive desires that cannot be fulfilled during this lifetime for various reasons, such as time had passed, etc. I always think there is a next lifetime where this can be fulfilled, and this thought makes me feel lighter. But this also conflicts with the path of enlightenment where we either fulfill the desires or release them. My question is, should we release the positive desires as well? If so, then it beats the purpose of us taking the finite form to experience life. Can you please advise on how I can resolve this conflict? As always, deeply grateful for your continued guidance on our path to enlightenment. Thanks, Shiva. When I when I read thanks Shiva and all that, how beautiful our ancient culture is. The names also are always divine, godly names, That's so. Whenever you interact with people, when you call them by their name, you are reminded of the Supreme. That is how the ancient culture, in the ancient culture, they divinized everything. Today, of course, what I'm finding is many parents are giving names to their children which have no meaning. They take half of the mother's name, half of father's name, joined together and give a name. Sometimes that name is so strange, as if some alien or something. We should learn to appreciate the genius of our ancient yogis, The system which they set was so wonderful. So coming to your question, Shiva has asked a beautiful question actually. This will be very useful for everyone. See, what you're doing is you're dividing your desires into positive and negative. Now, negative desires, you don't have an issue. You will have to release them. When it comes to positive desires, what you're asking is, certain desires cannot be fulfilled in this lifetime because time has passed and all that. Let us say, certain desires can be fulfilled at the age of 25. Now you're nearing 50. You cannot fulfill them. I think that's what you're referring to. Now, what do I do with them? Do I release them? Or you're saying the thought that it will be fulfilled in the next birth gives me some solace. So that conflict is there. See, the individual soul which has taken birth in this particular form, I've always mentioned that the purpose is to enjoy the best of best. That is what you're referring to, the purpose of the individual soul getting birth. But you left out the other part which I told you, enjoying the best of best and learning the lessons of life and becoming the infinite. That is the purpose. So that part, learning the lessons, you have forgotten. So you can learn lessons in so many ways. Sometimes experience will teach you. Sometimes you'll, without experiencing something fully also, you can learn a lesson. The purpose of this birth is to continuously learn the lessons of life, purify yourself, and become one with the infinite. So when we say experiencing the best of best, you will have to be practical about it. See, as a sadhak, it is never advised to postpone to the next birth. I am saying don't postpone it to tomorrow. Today, that itself is tamas. Now what you're doing is, okay, I'll see it in next birth. Definitely, no guru will support that. So, when a desire is there, just because you fulfill a desire doesn't mean now you will grow spiritually. No way. You may even end up increasing your desires. It is only when you learn the lessons which you have to learn, you will move to the next level. So, whatever desires you can fulfill, the positive desires, that you fulfill them. That is more than enough. It's not that you will have to fulfill every little desire, then only I'll be able to outgrow them. It's not that. Whatever can be released with sadhana, release them. It's all one and the same. Because per se, fulfilling the desire is only going to give you the temporary happiness. So, experiencing the best of best means to your capacity, you fix goals in life and work towards them. And whatever cannot be fulfilled will automatically get released in the sadhana. So what is the approach you should take? Best is don't analyze so much. You fix goals in life and start functioning. Number one. Number two, do sadhana in a spirit of surrender. Surrender to the higher Shakti. Surrender to the Guru Shakti. And just do sadhana. Now when you do sadhana, the higher healing energy will flow. And whatever desires can be fulfilled, whatever goals can be manifested, all those will be fulfilled. And whatever desires are negative will be released. And whatever desires are not negative, but they cannot be fulfilled, they will also automatically be released. And you will learn the lessons and you will move up. Now, the problem is, your mind, since it has so much of value for the desire, it is thinking, oh, should I release or should I wait for next birth? That is not a good choice to make. You're postponing enlightenment. Once you have released a desire, it is as good as fulfilling. See, the end result of fulfilling a desire and growing up and releasing a desire and growing up is one and the same. The end result is one and the same. That is the higher happiness. When you have not grown, you feel, oh, fulfillment is better than releasing. You're not wanting to release another way. So best is don't decide about what you want to release and what you don't want to release. Simply do the sadhana in the spirit of surrender. You will get the best of best experiences in life. Enjoy all that. The remaining will all get released so that you don't feel frustrated at all. That is the whole idea. So when you get wonderful things in life as you do your sadhana, enjoy them in a detached way. Take it as a gift from God, gift from the Guru Shakti. Enjoy that. Whatever is released, automatically that release process will happen. Just be aware and keep on releasing. That way, the goal is to become enlightened in this birth itself. The moment you encourage that quality of postponing to next birth, it is an endless one. See, it is another trick which the mind is playing. Either now or never. This is the principle which a yogi practices. So don't allow the seed of tamas to get in the mind. It's already there, so don't encourage it. Understand this wisdom and apply. So sadhana helps you to fulfill your goals externally and at the same time release all the unwanted factors. See, you're saying positive. But the fact that that desire cannot be fulfilled because of age reasons, let us say, then it's no longer positive. Rest of your life you'll be frustrated. Then it's not a positive desire. So that if that has to be released, the energy will automatically release it for you, provided you do your sadhana sincerely. But if you want to just hang on to that, then you're losing sight of the higher goal. Last week also I said, no, in life you need to learn to enjoy and then let go when the time comes. Detached enjoyment. Okay, so this question was also asked by another lady in a different way, so I have answered both the questions and it will be very useful for all the other sadhaks also. So reflect on these points. These are all very, very deep tips which are being given to you. Okay, so now we'll do Nididhyasana meditation. Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. With every breath, I'm getting into a state of deep relaxation. Feel the divine vibrations. Beyond my physical body, beyond my emotions and thoughts, lies my higher self, the infinite supreme reality. I attune myself to the higher Shakti, to the higher energy. From this moment onwards, I choose to overcome all the tamasic blocks within me. I have infinite powers. I am Swayam Prakashit, self-illuminating. Offer your gratitude to God Supreme. Offer your gratitude to your Guru and all the holy masters. Slowly come back. Wriggle your fingers, your toes, rub your palms together to create a warmth. Cup your eyes with your palms. Gently rub your eyes, cheeks, forehead, top of the head, back of the head and neck. Slowly open your eyes. Welcome back. So we had a very powerful session today. If we want to create a self-transformation, we need such powerful sessions. We need the power created by the yogic approach. So reflect on today's points and do the homework. It will genuinely help you. When you do the homework and come back next week, and when we go more into the verse, it will start creating a lot of positive changes within you. You'll experience them. Okay. Now, regarding the MAHAGANAPATHI Dhyana release, as I told you, it will be on the 16th of April. All the details have been given to you. And then from 24th to 29th, I think, we have the empowerment on life balance through cosmic healing. What do we mean by cosmic healing? The cosmic healing energy which will be invoked will create that balance in your life. So it's going to be very powerful. So the MAHAGANAPATHI Dhyana release, that day we'll be having a special healing and meditation session, which will incidentally further prepare you for the empowerment course. And every Sunday, whatever we are having here in the Nididhyasana session, a lot of healing energy is being sent to you, and all these are also preparations for the MAHAGANAPATHI Dhyana grand release. As I told you, I'm using the word grand release not because the event, it is not related to the external event. The energy of MAHAGANAPATHI is a very grand energy, It is the yogic secrets have till now not been revealed to everyone. So you'll be exposed to that. And overcoming tamas is a very important aspect if you want to invoke the energy of success. See how beautifully it is coming. I've always seen that whenever an event like that comes, an empowerment, the verses which we do before the empowerment always keep preparing you to receive that energy better. That is how God helps sincere sadhaks. Okay, and the moment you register, the special healing is being sent, which is going to prepare you more and more. So you may you will experience very intensity. There's a lot of intensity and depth in your sadhana. Just enjoy that, and a lot of good things would have started happening in your life once you register for the empowerment. So when that happens, immediately thank God, thank the Guru Shakti. Always maintain that humble spirit. Okay. So thank you very much. I'll see you in the next session. Hari Om.